Hey vinyl community, how you doing today? Great to see you and welcome so much to Beetle Brad's channel. How you doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. Well, today I've got an interesting topic I thought would be kind of fun to discuss, and it is about vinyl. I know, we never talk about vinyl on channels, do we? On our video channels. Actually, I'm going to talk about albums, particularly albums that are still got the shrink wrap on them. Years ago, back in probably 75, late 75, late 76, I started collecting vinyl at that time. And I thought it was a great idea to keep the plastic on it. You know, how you just kind of take a little knife and you'd slide it down to just get the record out and you left the plastic intact, because I felt back then it was good because you kept the jacket clean, you know, from the jacket from getting all kind of, you know, the jacket here all dirty and kind of, you know, yucky and all that kind of stuff of spills and stains, but you had the jacket to where the plastic kind of protected it. And then in, I don't know, about 78, 79, there was a radio show that I listened to with the Oldies channel. And they had a whole discussion about saying, you know, whenever you buy a record, used or new, you should throw out the plastic. Take off the plastic off of every single album you have, because this is going to warp your records. Even they've got to breathe. They've got air that needs to get into that record, and so by taking this and, you know, not only opening it to get the record out, but to take the plastic off completely off of your records, to let them air out and eventually, you know, you won't warp them. Now I'm talking about albums that warp if you keep them in a regular normal area. We're not talking about if you keep your records in the attic and it's 197 degrees out there up in your attic and the plastic's on them. Yes, they're going to warp, of course. Or you've got them in a cold place down in the basement and you've had water in the basement, or you've had floods. We're not going into that kind of topic. We're not going into that kind of discussion of you know, well, you know, I kept all my records in plastic, but, you know, I kept them in the basement and it was, you know, cold in the winter and hot in the summer. And we're talking about people that are collectors who collect the albums in plastic to have them that way. I'm trying to fish for words, but, you know, go along with me on this. So back to the radio show. So what I'm getting at is, don't write down below and say, oh, but you know, you didn't talk about albums that are sitting out in the sun and all that kind of stuff. No, I'm not talking about albums that sit in the sun. I'm talking about us as collectors, of keeping it in a normal conditions of an apartment or conditions of a house, to where the air is regulated and taken care of. We're not talking about putting them in a storage bin in a warehouse somewhere in the back. So this is strictly for collecting discussion, okay? I wanted to make sure I get that straight, because I kind of rambled on talking about the radio show, but I wanted to get that out first. So yeah, so the guy on the radio show just said, you know, to take them all off, because eventually the plastic will ruin the covers and all that kind of stuff. But as I've gotten to the point now where I'm starting to buy, as I did years and years ago, I bought albums as a collector, so I took all my plastic off. At that point, I was starting to collect Beatles albums in 76 and 75, and started buying a lot of the albums, solo albums and Beatle albums as well. So a lot of those I took apart, and I took all the plastic off, took all the shrink wrap off and everything. And now, let's speed up from where we are in 1976 to 1970s and 80s and 90s. And now we're going to move up to 2019, where we are today. A lot of us who are true big collectors like to keep the plastic on it. As you can see, this one still has the plastic. It still has the original price tag on this as a Glen Campbell album. Yes, I did show this, and I've taken this one as an example to show you that, you know, that I kept this in the original plastic. Here's another great album that I've got still in the original plastic with the price sticker still on it originally. And these records I've kept in here. The records are just sitting right over here. But the records are all in great shape. You know, there's really nothing wrong with the records. The records have not warped, but I've kept these in great shape. They're all in the original plastic. They haven't frayed at the top or the bottom. And the best thing to do with all of those records is to put them in plastic. The plastic to where it'll keep them in great shape. So, you know, is this a little too far-fetched? This is kind of what I'm throwing out to the vinyl community. Is this a little too far-fetched, putting these in plastic so you can keep the original plastic? Some people say it's great to have the album, but as a true collector, are you more of a collector because you've got the plastic and the price sticker on there? Are you more of a collector than the person who just has the album because you've gone an extra step and you've kept it in excellent shape? Because you've kept it in better quality than the person who probably went out to the store and paid, you know, let's say $9 for the album. But for an album like this in the original plastic, this is the Beatles. In the original plastic, you may pay $35, maybe $40 because it's in the original plastic. So a lot of you are saying it's not worth it to keep it in the plastic because it's too expensive to spend $30 or $40. Yes, I understand you saying that. But as a collector, you know, you can keep your record there. As a collector, do you think it's more worth it to do this? So I'm putting it out to the vinyl community. Make a video. Let me know what you guys think about that. Those that do videos, let's see you make a video on plastic. You know, should you keep the plastic on or off? Or do you go another step like this one? This is completely sealed. Elvis Presley. I'm trying to get the glare for you to show you that the plastic is completely intact. The plastic is completely sealed. And this is just in fantastic shape. You may say, well, the record's warped. Just by feeling, it's not warped. At least I don't think it is. But if I'm not going to open it, and I'm going to keep it in its original plastic for original album, by keeping it in the plastic, I don't need to play it because I've already got this album, is another point I'm going to say. I've got it on an album and CD. So when I ran across this one and getting it in the original plastic, why not? Because I could keep that in mint condition. Now, if we go another step, here's a promo CD of John Lennon, and this is in its original plastic. CDs once in a while used to come sealed. So I've left this sealed. So what do you think about that being sealed? Do you think you should leave CDs sealed? Yes, they will not warp. Granted, yeah, they won't warp. They won't mess up. Yeah, definitely. But the collectability does go up a whole lot more by leaving these sealed when you go to sell. Eventually, someday I will sell. I'll probably need money for a retirement home or whatever, and, you know, I'll end up selling these. But, you know, by buying this on the market, it could be a $5 CD. But being a sealed one, it could be a $20 CD. Maybe. That's kind of my point. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I just got Paul McCartney Red Rose. And this is still sealed. But the thing about this is, the harder thing about this, I'm trying to open it while we're talking. This is a double album. And these are next to impossible to keep in the original plastic because it's a gatefold. So in this case, yes, I do take the plastic off completely. See, as I'm doing now. See, I'm taking the plastic off. So yeah, I know you're probably all freaking out thinking, oh, don't take the plastic off. But I have made, for some of my double albums, like this one, for some of my doubles, I have taken the plastic and put it this way and then taped it here and then put another piece of plastic on this side. So I have made a double-sided gatefold, so when the plastic opens up, it does open. I love the crackle of opening brand new vinyl. Don't you? Don't you just, it's just fantastic when you open that up. But yeah, this is the Red Rose. I'm really glad I got this. So this is the double album, like I said, and I went ahead and opened it up. I'll put baby plastic on that. So let me ask you, those of you who do videos, Joe, me, Fit to Be Tie-Dyed, James Griffin, Rossi 1973, BMX Seeker, a bunch of you, do you leave your plastic on or do you leave the plastic off? So that's my question to you. Even though you can put the plastic on, and that's what I do, is put the plastic and slide the plastic on, and it still protects it, like you see in this one, with the plastic still on there. I still had the best of both worlds. So, what do? Let's see you guys make a video. I'd love to start a thread and see what you guys think about doing this. Do you leave the plastic on or do you take the plastic off? To make a long story even longer than I did in this video. I know it's kind of a long video to get my point across. But it's kind of a topic I wanted to bring up, kind of a discussion I wanted to just throw out there. It's kind of a discussion I thought would be kind of fun to discuss with each and every one of you to see what you guys do. Conga Man, I know there's I'm sorry, I can't think of all of my viewers that do videos. But those of you that make videos, you know who you are. Let's see you guys make a video. Do you keep the plastic or not? Okay. Yeah, I've kind of rambled on a lot about this. There's been a few 45s that have got plastic, and, do you take the plastic off of those as well? I think this is a really interesting topic, and I think a lot of you could really get involved in it because a lot of you are purists and huge collectors like me, and I think a lot of us really like keeping the plastic on the albums and really like having it as close as being perfect as possible. But then again, maybe you just might want to get the album just to have it to listen to, and I understand that, and you take the plastic off and everything, and maybe don't even buy these plastic inserts. But anyway, let me know, what do you think? Comment down below if you don't have a channel, but if you do, please, come on, make a video. Start a vinyl thread with me and discussing about do you do the plastic or not. All right, vinyl community, as I say on my channel, I'm out of here. Take care, everybody. Great to see you.